How y'all doing?
Great. How are you?
Excellent. No complaints. Far away.
Steph, welcome to Atlanta. First off, kind of walk us through how all of this came together. We knew you were in town, and then you left, and now you're back again. Kind of from your perspective, how did things all kind of shake out?
We already were in conversation prior to, but I was in Miami, obviously doing rehab, getting right. We had got a couple of phone calls. I had talked to my agent briefly. We had to try to set up a visit. When I came out here, it was a great day. Reconnecting with Todd, receiver coach, and kind of more personal. Coach Rael. I talked to him a little bit during the Pro Bowl and spent a little bit of time, but that's around the time where you kind of get to know guys. It's not as serious as a football season. You still keep it light and fun. So had a little bit of a relationship there, but the visit went extremely well. But afterwards, we went to our respectable quarters and try to start kind of figuring it out. So that's how it all unfolded. Mr. Rhodes, nice to see you again.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm excellent, actually.
Nice shirt. I like that.
Not bad, right? Not bad.
Just kind of where are you physically, and
Yeah.
how excited are you to work with a kid like Drake May?
I'm ahead of schedule. I'm trying to stay ahead of schedule. I've been pretty serious about, the grind process as far as like with rehab and everything. So shout out to Dr. Reef. I'm ahead of schedule right now. I'm trying to stay there at this point, trying to work a little smarter. I'm a hard worker, so I try to put a lot on my plate at one time, but I'm trying to reel it back a little bit, just be a little bit more smarter. And what was your second question? Oh, I'm excited. I really look forward to it. It's crazy because when you ask around, he has a lot of similarities. Well, people say through the grapevine, he acts a lot like Josh, and that was my guy. So I look forward to meeting and connecting with him.
Hey, Steph.
Right here.
And when it comes to working with a young quarterback, what would you say you bring to the table, and what are you looking to help him out with this season?
Seeing that I got the experience, I've been doing this for 10 and a half years. Always at the half now, but I play with a lot of quarterbacks. I've been around a lot of quarterbacks, so learning the quarterback, getting to know him, spending more time with him. Once you know somebody on a more personal level, I feel like it's a lot of carryover to the field, whether they're risk takers or like to play aggressive, like to play smart, and just honing in on what he's good at. We played him last year. He shows a lot of fight. He got that fiery quarterback, I want to win mindset. So, that's something that I get excited about and love to be around. But as far as like his development as a quarterback, I feel like, that's not really too much of my job. My job is to get up and catch the ball. So I just look forward to getting back out there and, being one of the weapons for him.
Hey, welcome to New England.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Stefon, preference?
We spent some time together. You call me Steph.
Steph, just for people who have not been on a visit with an NFL team, can you just take us through from the Wednesday night dinner through everything you did Thursday and then when you left?
I don't know if anybody shadowed schools at all, or if you have any experience if you're an athlete. Pretty much everybody athlete here, right? You meet everybody. It's kind of like a little meet and greet, kind of get to know you, whether you have a relationship or not. It's like I wouldn't say it's an interview, but it's an interview. You kind of get to know who's around and get to know the coaches and spend the time. I think they kind of want to get to know you as a player, as a person, learn about where you're from, what you like to do, your hobbies, X, Y, Z. Talk a little bit of football, but I think they do enough homework on the football portion. So, yeah, but it's kind of casual. And then the next day you tour the facility, you meet everybody you're going to be around. You see a couple players, you do maybe a little bit of physical stuff. Maybe a lot of it, you never know. But it's a cool day. I feel like my individual trip was tailored because, I was going to rehab and I had an injury. So more so to get to know you process and the things I do on the field kind of like with some carryover. They knew a little bit about it from the past. So it was a good visit.
Hey, Steph.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, thanks. You said you had some kind of prior relationship with Coach Rael. Probably not a huge relationship, but what is it about him that you like or appreciate, and was he part of the draw for you to come here?
Yeah, 100%. I also kind of factor in that he was a former player, and player to coach relationship, it kind of meshes really well with coaches that played at one time. They know what it takes to put the time in, being out there. I guess it wouldn't say it's like too much like a robot. Like sometimes they get caught up in being like in the numbers and the X's and O's. And player coaches know that you out there, you can make plays. things come up differently. You know what I'm saying? How you see things can be differently when you once were a player. So he was a big draw for me, seeing that he played the game of football and how well he played the game of football. I mean, he played with a standard. He played with some moxie. He had that energy. He played with a team or like individuals that were, great at what they do. Being around greatness and breeding greatness. It's rubbing shoulders with it. I feel like it's a good relationship to have, especially when you're out there. So, trying to follow suit in a way. Anytime. Thank you. Hey, how you
Hi,
doing?
Steph.
Listen.
Two quick questions. One, was him being a former player, did that lead to your post yesterday? I saw
Yeah.
him and the old,
It's
is that
gonna be-
part of that?
It's gonna be a lot of posts like that, especially. I told him he was young and handsome. Then I don't know about. He's still kind of young, but not. So I don't know about the handsome part. But I make a lot of jokes, so it's gonna be a lot more posts. But it's something to be excited about. The day before that, I said my goodbyes, and then now it's time to start my new beginning. So I'm super excited.
I'm glad you gave us the warning.
There you go.
But no, I was curious, what's it going to be like to see Buffalo now twice
Yeah.
a season on the opposite side? I mean, was this
Yeah.
ever something you thought could ever happen? And just, what's that going to be like?
Not really. I said a little bit about the earlier interview that, I kind of center myself in where I am. So of course back then I would have never thought I would see that. But I had a couple games here, had a lot of fun here. I done lost some games here too. So it's going to be extremely fun. I'm excited to be back in the AFC East. It's a lot of good teams, the teams I was seeing frequently and the players. So I'm excited. That's to say the least. I'm excited.
Hey, Stefon, I'm sure there were multiple factors that went into the decision to sign with New England. But for a team that's been looking for a number one wideout, is that number one? Was that something that you were looking at?
Yeah.
And number two, how much does that excite you to be able to hopefully bring that to this room?
It's exciting, obviously. When I was factoring my decision, it's like getting back on track. After I said I paid 10 and a half years playing this game. Would have been 11 if I didn't get banged up. So I definitely look forward to getting back on track. Young quarterback, a good team, a lot of pieces being added, everything trucking in the right direction, something that I wanted to be a part of. And I feel like I can be helpful as far as like development with the receivers and, everybody involved. And for me personally, get back out there and get active. I just want to, put my talents to use. But definitely, I thought about it. All that factored in going in and make my decision.
Steph, I'm at 2 if that's okay. What
3
other
if you want.
what other teams did you visit?
I didn't visit anywhere. I had a lot of conversations with a lot of teams. This was my only visit, physical. But I was considering a couple other places, but that's all in the past now.
And given your situation
Yeah.
at 31 years old,
Yeah.
coming off injury,
Mm-hmm.
what was your expectation contract-wise, and was what ultimately you signed here in New England reflective of that?
I mean, I kind of figured it was going to be around that area in the 20s, considering I came off an injury, but I also factor in the fact that I'm one of the only receivers that had 6 1,000-yard seasons consecutively. So as far as with the production, it's always been there. I've always been productive as a receiver. I can move the chains. I can do intermediate. I can go deep. I've done it all throughout my career. So my resume kind of speaks for itself, but it was more so the injury that obviously, would deter or make the money be what the money is. But I know that I'm 31 years old and this is my first injury after 10 years, considering I had little banged up injuries, but nothing that was that serious. So I kind of look at it as definitely an opportunity. What could have been was what could have been. At this point, I am where I am, and I'm thankful.
Steph, welcome to New England.
Appreciate it.
You mentioned you look forward to connecting with Drake. Have you heard from him? Have you guys communicated at all?
Real lightly, obviously via text when everything was kind of circling around, and then following on Instagram. But I look forward to getting to know him a little bit more personal level now that the ink is dry. So I'm excited. Kind of back to what he's questioning was as far as with the money, I know the money will follow with your production. What I've done in the past is my resume, but at this point, I'm really looking forward to put my best foot in front of me. Even towards last year, I was at 47 receptions and 450 or something like that, close to 500 yards. So that's halfway through the season. With I would have been on pace to have another 1,000-yard season and 100 catches if I didn't get banged up. So if you're doing the math right, I'm gonna be productive.
In addition to production, to follow up on your comment about being helpful
Yeah.
to the young receivers, this team has a couple of guys who are going into their second season
Yeah.
in particular. What are the things that you hope they take from you, whether it's the example on the playing field, in the film room, commitment to route running, etc.?
It's more so experience from the highs and the lows, I would say, because everybody want to have success in this league. Everybody wants to play at a very high level, but I feel like I can help more so with the lows just because I've experienced them myself on a personal level. Like the first 3 games of my career, I wasn't playing at all. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until the fourth game when I got my opportunity and then taking advantage of opportunities and learning that, sometimes the timing is off. When it's your time to shine, shine. And if you don't, you can't blame nobody but yourself. But I kind of learned that the hard way. Like sitting on the bench for 3 games my rookie season, it was kind of rough for me as far as mentally. Like, damn, I felt like I had a good camp. I felt like I did what I could have to have like some kind of role. Not to say what it was, but to help them with the lows is the biggest thing because everything isn't gonna go your way. Sometimes you gotta learn that the hard way. But if you're doing what you're supposed to, you're committed to it. It'll bounce away. The ball will bounce your way eventually. You just never know when. So that's something that I learned when I was younger. Like I told myself that when I did get the opportunity to go in between the lines, I wasn't gonna come off them because I'm gonna do my job. I'm gonna be where I'm supposed to be, and I'm gonna make plays. Because it's not all about the X's and O's, but you gotta go out there and make plays, play ball, and be a professional. I think being a pro is pro. You'll learn a lot too, and I feel like I've been a pro my whole life. Especially when I got in the league, but with the young guys, bringing them along to show them how to be a professional and how to handle business each and every day, it'll go a long way. Excuse me.
Stefon, welcome to New
Thank
England.
you so much. Appreciate it.
I'm curious, did your time with Brian Dable maybe give you a bit of a jump start with this Josh McDaniels offense? And in addition, what do you know about McDaniels and what your role may potentially be in this system?
It's crazy because I asked his brother questions prior to me getting here. His brother's receiver coach for Houston. So I used to ask him questions here and there, like, how was your brother with XYZ? And, just keeping it real light. It was like a get to know you process just because like you spend a lot of time with your receiver coach and people on your staff. So he always kept it like he told me about him. He told me that he took some time off and XYZ. But it's just, I don't feel like I got a jump start. I don't know if they use the same terminology or language, but football is football. And it's committed to the studies, and the tedious part of it. Nobody wants to do it, but you get used to doing it if you love football. If you love it enough, you'll dedicate your time and your effort. So for me, I'll get used to it. I'll figure it out, whatever it is. I am excited though if it is the same language and I don't gotta study as much.
Hey, Steph, welcome to New England.
So I appreciate it.
I know you said you talked briefly with Drake. Has anybody else on the team reached out to you? You've talked to, and particularly the receivers. Have you crossed paths with them in the past, or have a relationship with any of those guys
Not too
from
much
before?
of the young guys. I do know Pop. A little bit of relationship. He was real close with Tank, as in Houston, and then Kendrick Bourne. Obviously, we trained in the same place like some years back when I was real young. But not too much of an existing relationship. But I look forward to it. As far as like being a professional, I try not to bring too much of the personal side of it to the building. But it's good to have a relationship with those guys. You spend a lot of time with those guys, and the more you can do, like I guess like at the house, kicking it, hanging out, the more you get to know the people you be around, the harder you want to play for them. Like you got a more respect for a man when you know what he's been through and some of the trials and stuff that he's going through, and you just want to go harder. Like you appreciate somebody that's been through something. Like I don't know why, like I respect a man that's been through a little bit in life. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, but you know what I'm saying, if you ain't never went through nothing hard, we can't relate.
Phil Perry, then half the tour.
Hey, Stefon, welcome.
Appreciate you.
You have a reputation, somebody who's been in the league as long as you have, as a fiery competitor.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to ask you if now, 10 or so years into your career here, how you try to exhibit that competitive energy. And is it different now versus maybe when you were younger in the league?
When I was younger, I would say you get in trouble a little bit as far as like being so competitive. Not from the standpoint of winning and losing, but mindset. You know what I'm saying? Don't let it get you off your game, being too aggressive and, being in my frame of I want to do this, that, and the third, and not really honing in on your game. I feel like now at this point, the more madder I get, the more focused I get. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather beat you than argue with you. You know what I'm saying? I think when I was younger, I was so caught up in like maybe a shouted match or maybe going back and forth with somebody. But at this point in my career, I'm a little older now. I'm in a space where as though I'd rather give you a spanking than sorry, but then go back and forth with you. So as far as like me being a competitor, I've always been that way. Like even when I was a little boy, like I wanted to win at everything that I did. I never wanted to lose, so I'll never lose that. But I think the older I get, the worse it gets because it's like, damn, I really expect to win. So if I lose, it's like it was my fault. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you on this next one.
Steph, has that made you a better teammate? The way you've learned how to channel those things, have you figured out just in your natural course of your own development, your own maturation? Have you figured out how to use that channeling, that competitiveness to both help your own game and to help people around you?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like I kind of talked about it earlier today. I think in the interviews, you can't lead everybody the same. Like as fiery and as competitive that I am, the ones around you, some people are motivated differently. Some people are needed to be like positive reinforcement, as I call it, like encouragement. Like I think like big things with like people like quarterbacks. Like quarterbacks, they need that positive reinforcement, like because things aren't always going to go right and things are never going to be perfect. So having that somebody that that always has your back, no whether it's good or bad, is something that you can appreciate, especially when it's genuine. So when those around me, I try to push them in the right direction. Like even if things aren't going right for me, you never know what something small could do for somebody else that's playing well or kind of on that brink of making a play here and there. So I think my maturation process come from more experience, the good and the bad, especially more personal. But I've done a lot of inner work up to this point, and I feel like I'm in a great space, and I'm trying to put that into the universe.
You mentioned your statistics and a couple answers. Do you have targets in your mind right now that you look at?
Nah. I mean, it's a new situation. Like in my past situations, you can kind of gauge where I was going to be. But even last year, like I said the numbers because that's where I ended up with. Like at the end of the year, we can have a great conversation on where the ball fell and how many numbers I have. But throughout the year, I try not to worry about it. But when the off season comes around and we making it make sense as far as like number wise, and we talking about money, we talking about this. Obviously, I'm gonna speak the very language that we all know.
Steph.
Yes, sir.
You've obviously had to deal with some pretty rowdy fans in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
What's been told to you about New England fans, and how have you reacted to the social media response from your
Yeah, I've played here I played here a couple times, and it's got really they're equivalent to Buffalo fans. Everybody's a little crazy, and I got used to it after a while. When I played here when I was younger, we definitely lost a couple times, so I remember it clear as day. It was a nice trash talking match, I would say. I won't curse because my mom's right here, but it was definitely a lot of fun. But that's what makes the game really fun for me, as far as like getting the crowd involved, and it's usually on the opposite end. Like I like it when they're against me. I feel more comfortable when the crowd's against you rather than they for you. So.
And have you gotten to ride in the Kraft helicopter yet?
I wasn't that lucky. I haven't been that lucky yet. Hopefully we can work something out. Sounds good.
Steph, what, if anything, about this process has been a surprise to you?
Not necessarily a surprise. Even if it was new to me, I wasn't surprised because I know a lot of guys in the league. I've seen it. We've all seen it. How it goes. So it wasn't too much of a surprise. It was new to me, but it was something that I went in with, open ears and open eyes. You know what I'm saying? Not too much talking, just more so listening and engaging what makes sense. Because yeah, I could have had went places and did this, that, and the third, sure, but I had to figure out what I really wanted for myself and where I wanted to be for the rest of my legacy, and why not be a part of a winning organization in some places that definitely has a lot of talent, and a coach that's going to lead them in the right direction. So I got a lot of respect for Vrabes, what he's done as a player and what he's done as a coach. I've seen it, and I look forward to working with him.
Steph, I got two quick ones for you. You mentioned being ahead of schedule. When do you expect to be a full participant in practice?
Oh shit! When the whistle blows, huh? So we'll see. But right now, I'm ahead of schedule. I'm trying to stay ahead of schedule. I pretty much take it day by day. I try not to put the carriage before the horse. But here we are. Here's the horse right here. So I'll let you know, though. You know what I'm saying? We'll keep playing it by ear, and I'm gonna stay ahead of schedule for now. I'll let y'all know.
You mentioned legacy. Your time in New England will be successful if you do what?
I stay healthy, and the rest will take care of itself.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone. Thanks.
Have a good one.